Hello students, welcome to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. Today I am going to teach you this Unit 2 types of silkworms. Silkworms are economically important insects because it produces silks. So there are many types of silkworms that are present. So in this unit we are going to study types of silkworms. The objectives of this unit are we will be trying to you will identify the primary commercial silkworm species found in India. You will understand the classification and distribution of mulberry silkworms. You will explore wild silkworm varieties like tassar, muga, eri, silk moths. You will learn about special silks like spider silk, mussel silk, and giant mounds. You will recognize the economic importance of sericulture in agriculture and also the industrial textiles. You will study the life cycle for food plants of different silkworm types to appreciate the diversity of organisms that produce natural silk fibers. So here in the agriculture and the silkworm variety. Agriculture in India is changing fast and sericulture is a key option for it. So it is a unique crop that gives result in just 30 days. That means it doesn't take a lot of time for the cultivation. It just gives the result in just 30 days of rearing. So farmers can take up to 3 or 4 successful crops in a single year. So silk is rightfully called as a queen of textiles. Why is it called as a queen of textiles? It is because of its shine, it's because of its beauty, and it is also because of their durability. So silk is rightfully called as a queen of textiles. So there is no other natural fiber that has conquered textiles world like a silk has done. So that means the silk is a sole thing that is on a high demand. It can never fall off, but the silk is a continuous and it has a high demand of the production. So India is the only country producing all 5 commercial types. Also if you see India, it also has an independent silk production varieties. The majorly we focus on the 5 varieties, but there are many independent silks that have been produced in India. So there are mulberry, oak tassars, tropical tassars, eri and muga silks. These are the 5 varieties that are being grown in India. There are also non-mulberry silks. These are called as vanya silks. Non-mulberry silks, that means vanya silks can give new identity to tribal and also for the remote forest areas. If we see the major this mulberry silkworm, the silkworm Bombax murray is most common domesticated variety. It has exploited to silk production for over 4,000 years. Biologically, it belongs to the family Bombacidaceae and also in the order of Lepidoptera, and it is believed that it is to be derived from a wild ancestor, that is Bombax. These worms are classified by their geography, like there are different types of worms that are present, Indian, Chinese and also Japanese. There are differently grouped by volatinism. That means there are univolatile, bivolatile and polyvolatile. What is univolatile? Univolatile, it means it produces one generation in an year, while polyvolatile many generations in a year. So if I can tell, there are different varieties, like as we have univolatile, as we have bivolatile and also we have multivolatile. Univolatile might give a little quantity but a quality will be assured. That means the quality would be so high in the univolatile compared to the polyvolatile. So bivolatile, it gives 2 generations per an year, and multivolatile, it gives more than 2 years per an year. So if we see this univolatile, it holds a good quantity, it holds good quality. Comparatively, polyvolatile, it gives a huge quantity, but it would be lesser, the quality would be lesser comparative to the univolatile silks. That means depending on the production, depending on the rate of production, the quantity and the quality is been described. Univolatile, it gives only 1 generation per year. in fact, it gives the quality would be high, but the quantity would be less comparative to the bivolatile and also to the multivolatile. If you see bivolatile, it gives 2 generations per an year. The quality would be good and the quantity would be good. In the multivolatile, if we see, the quality will be high, but the quantity would be high, but the quality will be little less comparative to the univolatile and the bivolatile. Price fixation of the silks is majorly done by the quantity and the quality. So if we see univolatile, bivolatile and multivolatile, their prices are been fixed depending upon the volatilism. If it is a univolatile, the prices would be high because the quantity is good, so prices would be high. If compared to the multivolatile, the price would be less because the quantity is high but the quality is less. So because of which the price of multivolatile would be lesser compared to the univolatile. Then we have a life metamorphosis. That means the mulberry silkworm passes through a complete metamorphosis process. What is a complete metamorphosis process? That means the 4 main stages are, there are 4 main stages, that is egg, larva, pupa and adult. That means larva, pupa and adult stages, they show clear differences between male and female. The duration of each stage varies by race, by local climatic condition as well. So these stages will be depending upon the climatic conditions and also by the race. What is a race? It is a type, whether it is a Japanese race or as a Chinese race or else an Indian race. Depending upon the race, the stages have been decided. Univolatile race, as based on the volatilism, univolatile race, it completes their life cycle roughly in 53 to 65 days itself, while bivolatile race, it takes 53 to 55 days to finish the complete development. In the multivolatile race, it is faster. That means it is taking only 42 to 52 days in total. That means it is a faster race compared to the univolatile and also the bivolatile. Then the larval stages is the only time the silkworm feeds on the mulberry leaves. As we know that silkworms, it feeds on the mulberry leaves. During only the larval stage, it feeds on the mulberry leaves. Then moth emerges from cocoons, they mate, they lay eggs and they die soon. That means the moth, it's been coming out from the cocoon and it will be laying eggs, it will be mating, it will be laying eggs and it will soon die. Then eggs can be diapause. That means hibernating, and there are few eggs that are non-diapause types. So these larvae undergo several instars. This larva will undergo multiple instars. They shed on their skin during each molt. So here this life cycle is a complete life cycle. This is a life metamorphosis. As it has egg, as it has larva, it also has pupa and also it has an adult. Then we have nutrition and production. So for this silk, it should get a good nutrition and also the production should be very fine. The mulberry plant leaf is a primary food for the Bombax mori larvae. That means this silks, they feed on the mulberry leaves only during the larval stage. That means the mulberry plant leaf is the primary, it is a first food for the Bombax mori larva. Nearly 70% of silk proteins come directly from the mulberry leaves only. So 1 metric ton of leaf is needed for rearing for 1 ounce of silk eggs. That means for 1 ounce of silk eggs, it requires 1 metric of tons of leaves. This massive feeding yields about 25 to 30 kgs of high quality cocoons. Here we are mentioning high quality cocoons. That means the quality of the cocoon is well and fine. That means it is disease free. There is no disease called pebrin in the cocoon, or else it is not diseased, rather it is disease free. That is why the quality is mentioned as a high quality cocoon. So here if we see that 1 hectare of fertile land can produce 15 to 40 tons of leaves a year. That means leaf yields depends on the climate from the temperate to the tropic. Even the leaf will be depending upon the climate, and also it will be ranging from the temperate to the tropic regions. So the major cultivation varieties are used from the Morus alba and the Morus nigra. The larvae biosynthesize leaf nutrients into liquid silk in their glands. So what happens, this larvae will biosynthesize its leaf and it gives nutrients in the form of liquid silk into their glands. So during the spinning stage, what happens is the mature larva leaves its silk cocoon. So this mature larva, it weaves its silk cocoon. So we have wild tussar silkworms. What is wild tussar silkworms? This wild tussar silkworms are the wild insects which are reared in the tropical or else in the temperate forest zones. These means there are 4 species of genus which is used for the commercial production. This is majorly used for the commercial production. We have tropical tussars and also we have a temperate tussars. These tropical tussars are widely found in the India's remote forest, and this temperate tussars, which include species like these also include the species like A. propyli and also Perni. They account for about 90% of non-mulberry silk production in India. Major states, they include Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa and Telangana. There are 19 reported eco-acres that feeds on the different wild trees. There are primary food plants species and also robust trees are present for this primary food. These larvae are tetramalters. They pass through 5 growth stages. That means they hold 5 instars. Their larva has tetramalters. That means 4 malters. They pass through 5 growth stages as well. Then we have tussar larva and cocoon. This is after newly hatched tussar larvae. They are dull yellow color and they have a black head. Mature 5th instar larva, they turn green and it weighs 18 to 20 grams. So during this larval duration, what happens, it will last till 26 to 60 days depending upon the crop. So larva possess tubercles of different colors like orange color or red color or violet color. So this silvering shining, they have a silver shining spots present on the sides of this larva in the later stages. As the stages passes, what happens is there will be a shining silver spots that have been present on the sides. That means on the wings of it we see the shining spots. Then tussar cocoons, they are single celled. They can be oval or they can be a pendant like a hanging shaped cocoons. Their spinning process of hard tussar cocoons takes about 5 days. One big cocoon can provide 1000 to 1200 meters of reliable fiber, and also these cocoon come in many colors. They have wide varieties of colors. They come in yellow color, they come in purple color, they come in brown and in grey. This adult mouth, what happens is, in a very large and having an eye spot, we call it as an ocelli on the wings. Then the females are larger than the males comparatively, with bipectinate antennae for the mating. Then we have an oak tussar and a golden muga. That means oak tussar, it is also one of the variety of the silk. Oak tussar is a fine variety which is produced by the propelli mouth. These worms, they feed on the natural oak trees. So majorly this will feed on the oak trees which are present in the sub-Himalayan belt. The states, majorly this oak tussar you find it in Manipur, Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir. These states, they produce oak tussar. Then we have Muga silk, which is a unique pride. It holds a pride of Assam state in northeast India. It comes from a self-domesticated silkworm. This silk is very famous for its natural brilliant golden yellow luster. Then this muga worms feed on the som and the saul tree leaves in the Brahmaputra valley. They produce a very strong and attractive thread used for the traditional wear. That means here this oak tussar, it is from a Himalayan belt. That means it comes from the Manipur, Himachal, northeast India. And this, if you see from the muga silks, the golden muga, it comes from Assam. It holds a pride of an Assam. So that means it will be useful in the production of natural brilliant. It gives a golden yellow luster color and this cocoon, it is a golden brown, or it is a white, or it is a brown. It is closed and it is slightly flossy. It gives a flossy look. This flossy look is given by the golden muga. Then we have an eri silkworm. This eri silkworm is also called as ahimsa silk, because this worm is not killed. That means this worm is not killed. That is the reason it is called as an ahimsa silk. The moth species is Samina rinse. It is also called as a silk. It is also called as a castor silkworm. It feeds on the castor oil. Easy to remember. That means this eri silkworm, the moth species, is also called as a castor silkworm. That means it feeds on the castor oil leaves. That means it produces white or brick red silk. So this larva are yellow. The color of the larva is yellowish green in color. When it comes to young and it turn creamish color due to their nature, because first it starts with a yellow or green color. Later, as the stages passes, it colors changes into the creamish color. This is a fully mature eri. Larvae are covered with white powdery substance. How would we know that the eri larva is been fully mature? Because of the presence of the white powdery substance on the worm, that indicates that it is the larva is well developed. It is a mature larva. Then the fully mature larva, it shows this powdery substance. Then we have the cocoon. The shape of the cocoon, it is elongated, it is soft, it is woolly, but it has a open mouth. Because the filament is not continuous, it cannot easily reel, because as the filament is open, we cannot reel it easily. So instead, the silk spun, like how we spun the cotton, how we spun the yarn, it is also been spun into a yarn like wool for making the shawls. Majorly it is used for making the shawls, which is a speciality of the Kashmir, and it is the only complete domesticated silkworm other than the Bombyx mori. This eri silkworm is the only domesticated silkworm other than the Bombyx mori. Then we have many independent, till now we have seen the 5 types of silks that have been present, that are the varieties that have been produced in India. In India, we see different types of independent silk production as well. There are Gonometa and Anafe silkworms. This Gonometa postica is an African wild silkworm found in acacia trees. They are often called as a burn worms, and they produce a fine quality. They produce a fine quality wild silks. These cocoons are harvested in the Kenya. It has been harvested in the South Africa. Their shells are hard and it is covered with an oxalate. This is because of the oxalate. It is making them to be hard to use. And also we have this Gonometa. This Gonometa, easy to remember. It is the originated from the South Africa, or it is an African wild silkworm. It is majorly, it holds a shells. It has a large, that means it has a hard covering because of the oxalate. Then we have a Anafe silkworm. It belongs to the order Lepidoptera in the Central Africa. These worms are spin communal cocoons enclosed in the thin silk layer. There are groups of 12, starting from 12 to 100 worms spun together for 4 moths. This tribal people, what they do, they collect the fluff to spin a soft lustrous raw silk, and this fabric is elastic and it has a stronger and a traditional mulberry silk. So it is used to create a it is used to create an high-end textiles like plush or anything like something like that. Then we have a Fagara and a cocoon silk. Fagara silkworm. These are wild giant silk insects. They fed voraciously on citrus. They are spread on the guava. They feed on the cinnamon tree leaves. They spin into the light brown papery cocoons. About the length would be around, the cocoons would be about 6 centimeters to 8 centimeters long. It is found in the Australian region. That means it has a huge wingspans. That means, and specialized feature, that means it has a huge wingspans. We have corn silkworms. This Fagara silkworms, this is a wild giant silk insect that is majorly seen in Australia. It is majorly present in an Indo-Australian region. Then we have a Koan silkworm. It belongs to the species from Italy. Their larvae feed on the pine, they feed on ash and cypress. On these cocoons, they are white in color and quite large. They are measuring up to 8.9 centimeters long. That this silk was used for crimson robes worn by dignitaries in Rome. That means here this majorly corn silk, it is majorly worn by the dignitaries of Rome. The commercial use is ended due to high production cost and also the low output. That means it was highly demanded because it was worn in the royal stage, in sacred places, or else sacred people, important people have been wore this. It holds a royal status as well. But when it comes to the commercial use, it has ended due to the high production. That means so much of production has been done by the corn silk, but the low output was been given, so that is why the commercial demand has been lower down. Then we have Indian moon moth. That means this Indian moon moth is a beautiful wild silk insect. It is called as a Luna moth. It is active mainly at night. It is found in the western Maharashtra. The larvae are apple green and it feeds on 29 different host plants. The major food source for it is a walnut, cherry, apple and hibiscus leaves. The shape of this Luna moth is, they spin in an oval shape, and the pale brown cocoons in the wild forest. These moths are famous for long, tall like wing extensions. They have a long and the tall wing extensions are present. They play a significant role in the forest biodiversity and also in the pollination. That means these Indian moon moth, they help in the pollination process. That means it sits on the one flower and it sits on the other flower as well. That means because of which the seeds have been transformed, the gametes have been transferred from the one flower to the other flower, because of which what happens, the pollination takes place. While it is not primary for industry, they produce a wild sericulous fibers. The moon moth is a symbol of the beauty found in the silkworm biology. That means the beautiful silkworm, the beautiful moth is called as in the sericulture or in a silkworm biology, it is an Indian moon moth. Then we have a mussel and also spider silk. This is obtained from the bivalve named Pinna squamosa. It is found in Italy. It secretes a strong brown anchoring fiber. This fiber, it is combined and spun into silk locally known as fish wool. This spider silk, if we see, it is a non-insect fiber. That means it has both soft and it also has fine. It is incredibly strong. It is strong and it has elastic reeled spiders. These species like Nephilia produce fibers which is reeled out after several times on a month. These accumulated fibers from a dozen spiders are used for scientific test. Because of the high labor cost, what happened is spider silk is not used in the textiles. Why is it not being used in the regular basis? Because of its prices, because of its high labor cost, it has been not used for the commercial uses, or it has not been used in the textile industry. This is a unique silk that has been present. It showcases the diversity of natural fiber production. They serve as a biological inspiration for a synthetic fiber. Then we have a golden orb spider silk. It is a golden orb spider silk. It creates a high strength webs. Scientists study this silk to understand its extreme tensile strength. That means it was observed for their strength. It was established, it was studied for its strength. This fiber can stretch significantly before it eventually breaks. So see, this natural golden hues in fiber in the spider webs are biologically marvel of nature. That means its collection is difficult as spiders and cannibalistic in nature. We see despite its quality, it remains more expensive on the silk on the earth. In this earth, this is the most expensive silk, I can say, because most spider silk research now focuses on the biosynthetic production. It remains a benchmark. It sets a benchmark for its elasticity, and also also for its strength in this, for its natural world. Biomimicry aims to replicate this fibers on the medical sutures. If we see, the above all are the different types of silkworms based on the tropical to the temperate region, based on the chemical, based on the climatical changes, based on the habitat. There are different types of silkworms that are present, and these varieties has its own speciality and specificity. Make sure that these silkworms has to be disease free, so for the perfect production. So to summarize this chapter, to summarize this unit, this sericulture has a wild varieties, as this sericulture has been reeled from the silkworms. That is why this silkworm is an economically important insect. It feeds the major backbone for this silk industry is the Bombax murray. Then we have Vanya silks like Tazar, Muga and Eri. These represent the India's wild heritage. That means these silks they show the wild Indian heritage and also the Indian economy of this. Then India holds a global monopoly on golden Muga silk from Assam. As I mentioned, this golden Muga silk, it is a pride of an Assam. It has been in a golden color. It helps in the weaving, so it is used in the weaving as well. Then we have an Eri silk. This promotes ahimsa because this is not been killed. These values it values by not killing the silkworms. Then we have African wild silkworms, which produce a communal cocoon for luxury plush. Then we have giant mouths like Attacus and Atlas produce unique papery silk fibers, and also in ancient Rome and in Constantinople. Then we have a Mediterranean cone cuckoos, which helps for the royal apparels they use. Then we have a nature provides silk from sea mussels and also golden Arabs fibers too. Understanding these types of silkworm is very important for the sustainability for the silk production. So sericulture remains a powerful tool for socio-economic and also for the rural growth. This sericulture plays a major role in the socio-economic because it is a mix of the culture, it is a mix of the traditions, it is a mix of the scientific reasons, scientific evidences as well. So in this sericulture we have seen the types of silkworms based on the tropical region or the temperate regions or on the habitat or else on the climatical conditions. There are different types of silks are being produced, different cocoons, their colors, it differs based on the regions that are present in. Thank you everyone.